don't look like
Okay, yeah, Ravens get Cowboys and Bills next to.
Ooh.
Yeesh. I guess we'll talk about.
Oh yeah. We're not. It's funny. We won't even get there on this episode. That's Friday's episode.
Yes, but we will talk about them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll talk about the Ravens. Definitely. All right. I started with the wise picks, and I started with the Bolts. It doesn't matter. You want to do the losses first or the wins? And we
Sure,
can do.
Yeah. Take the lead on that segment.
Lead the charge.
The losses, you mean my picks?
I got a loss too. You had a.
You had, and I'm like, I would rather you have a good week if I have a bad week because
then one of us is.
And our total record's 5-6. It's not that bad.
No, it's not bad. When a push, yeah, it's not bad at all.
You had a good year, good start to the year.
You are frozen. See if you go to Discord.
Frozen?
Yeah. Maybe if you go to Discord
on the stream or
no, just on Discord.
What do you mean if I go to Discord? I'm on Discord.
You're on Discord, so it's not. Just turn off. Can you turn?
Turn my camera off.
Yeah. Did you turn it back on?
Back on?
It's loading. It will be in a second.
Okay.
Once that happens, we'll start. I don't know why it isn't loading. Here, let me just call you right back. There you go. Hear me?
Back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good on your side?
Ready to roll.
Alright, we're good on my side. Let's get started in 3, 2, and 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I am your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Well, we had a rough weekend. The Wise picks didn't look very well. Everything we said on Friday's pod looked terrible. We were wrong this week. We were very much wrong this week.
Wrong about a lot.
Yeah.
I was right about my prop of the year. I'd like to say that.
That's true. You're right about the prop of the year. I'm gonna start off. Did you end up watching South Carolina's College Game Day?
No, I was actually playing golf, so I was following the score. Yeah, go ahead.
Brutal L. It's one of those L's that really just makes you believe in ref conspiracy theories. The two negated pick sixes. One was a technical horse collar, which he grabbed him from the front and dragged him.
Technical horse collar?
So he grabbed him from the front of the jersey, and then he dragged the back, and then it turned into a horse collar. And it's a new rule in college football this year that if you do that specifically to the quarterback, it's a penalty.
Oh, I gotcha.
So that was lame. I that one I don't mind. That one I can live with. The second one, the quarterback for LSU, Nutsmeister, whatever the heck his name is. He throws a pick six. He's
more like Nutsmaster.
Yeah, Nutsmaster turns and becomes a defensive player to go and tackle the guy with the pick six. Mm-hmm. One of our defenders blocks him from the side, and he falls over, makes a big deal out of it. They call it a legal block in the back. They negate the touchdown. Mm-hmm. They keep the pick. Our quarterback's injured. The offense wasn't getting anything going besides 2 long touchdowns. It was just it was so predictable of an L that it was. Yeah. I was sitting in the stands. All the student section moves up because they think we're gonna rush the field.
Rush the field.
To be fair, South Carolina hasn't beaten
number 15.
To be fair, they haven't beaten LSU in 30 years. And they haven't beaten LSU
serious?
At home. Not even at Williams-Brice Stadium.
Well, I guess
but at home
LSU's West though.
in 60 years. It wasn't even Williams-Brice before they
How
won at home.
often do you play them?
Not often at all.
It's not every year.
No, no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not often at
Because
all.
30 years that's probably like what, 8 games?
Yeah, I think it's if you look at it, I think the record's like it's probably like 14, and it's pretty bad.
I mean, that's a lot, but
Anyways,
yeah.
the whole student
Okay.
section.
Well, I'm almost glad that you lost because I wouldn't have wanted to have the conversation about storming the field against number 15.
I look, I would agree. I would agree with that. That's
I would have done it if I was in a scenario like
yeah.
you're not going to be the guy who doesn't storm the field. And
Yeah, out of principle. Oh, it's only 15.
Yeah, right. That would be funny.
You just stand.
Took a selfie in the stands while everyone's on the field.
Look at all these losers. It's just number 15.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not one to usually complain about it, but anyway.
Long story short, great day, a lot of fun, very long football game though. I get there, I got a little early. I don't normally go early. I got there probably at like 10:45 for the noon kickoff, and I actually got a good seat, which I haven't gotten a good seat at a Carolina football game in probably, I don't know, a year. But I get a good seat. We get good spots, and then the game is just freaking forever because of all these every play there's a flag, and the refs don't even know what it's about, so they're talking about it, and then they have to come up with the call. Long story short, it's a 4.5-hour game, and it ends off a short kick that for some reason the kick goes up in the student section. Everyone thinks we tied the game. I don't know why. Everyone thinks they tied the game. I turned to my roommate Riley, who I've been standing next to for 5 hours now, and when it drops, I just start laughing. I start laughing. I looked around and I saw all the misery. And I you know the meme where it's I think it's Pirates of the Caribbean or some movie, but James Franco has a noose around his neck and he looks around over and he goes, "First time." That is how I felt.
Yeah, yeah.
Sitting around watching all those people with their hopes up, and I was just like,
yep.
And I was upset that that we lost, but I had a great day, and it was just laughable, man. It was just laughable, and call it a screw job all you want. The last play of the game, right before they kick the field goal, they run up the middle for no yards. They could have just dumped it off for maybe 3 yards, 5 yards. Try to make that field goal a little bit easier.
Yeah.
They had no faith in the backup quarterback. It was like a 47-yarder. And the main flaw for the Gamecocks is Lenore Sellers got hurt. And then the backup quarterback, they just didn't trust to throw the football at all.
Gotcha.
So they kept running it with him and running the ball with him. And we had one big play that ran for a touchdown. And then after that, our defense was just gassed. So I have faith in this Gamecocks team. I think there's going to be a lot of those close games where they're almost going to upset and they're going to shoot themselves in the foot and lose. But it was a great day. It was nice to see national recognition for my guys, and Pat McAfee and Nick Saban in the stadium. That was awesome. So
yeah, well, and you'll remember the experience of having it.
Yeah,
not necessarily the result of the game.
Exactly. All right, let's move to the NFL, where we were completely wrong all week. We'll start off with your batch. Should we start? Let's start with the early games. Ravens -8 is what we'll start with.
I'd like to say, in my defense, I feel like I start slow every year.
Oh yeah, you pick it up.
Kind of like the odd week 2 where I don't know how to react from week 1, and it just makes it very difficult. So what we tried to do this week, at least what I based my picks off of, was let's not overreact on week 1. Let's stick to our guns. The easiest pick of the week was the Ravens as a big favorite at home. This happens every year. They beat up on a bad team in front of their home crowd. Are they just not that good of a team this year?
I see. They're I want to say their defense is good. Like I think their defense is good. They have players.
I mean, they were up 10 points in the fourth quarter.
That's I know.
And lost by 3.
Yeah. They don't have the control anymore when it comes to running the football. That is the key.
Which doesn't make any sense.
No. It really
because you
doesn't.
got the guy that puts your team in control of running the football.
Once you're up 10 with Derrick Henry
almost like
and Lamar,
they're scared to use him.
yeah, and he started out slow. I think his first like 7 carries for like 4 rushes, but that's how Derrick Henry is.
That's what he does.
Yeah, you just got to keep riding him. And this whole we're not going to give him 30 carries a game is stupid. You signed him to give him 30 carries a game. He has 31 between the 2 games that they've played. And he averages 4.2 yards a carry. So there should be no reason why you have a why you have a 10-point lead and you decide and you end up losing that game with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Is there like their O-line is just, their O-line is terrible. And I think the Rams we just kind of overlooked, we underreacted.
No, because we discussed that. And the Rams, we didn't at all. But the Ravens, we acknowledged that the offensive line could be a problem. I don't think we realized how significant of a problem it would be.
So the
Ravens. Fair to say.
Say again.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's fair to say. I mean, they were very undisciplined this game. They had a bunch of penalty yards, over 100 penalty yards. Lamar had an interception, but I mean, as you said, you sack him 5 times compared to 2, and you beat him on 4th down efficiency. You almost beat him on 3rd down efficiency. It's just it's almost an unfathomable game that they lost. And
yeah, I mean, it was like the game was 3 quarters, and then the 4th quarter. Actually, even into the 4th quarter, the Ravens scored their last touchdown, I think.
Yeah, to put them up 10, well into the 4th quarter. Ethan, if you're in the chat, give us, as an unbiasedly, I can say that the O-line is what's killing us. Told y'all.
I mean,
he said I told y'all in the preseason.
We've seen this before with the Ravens, though, where like I'm sure you've seen the graphics where they put up all the scores of the games that they were up 2 scores in the 4th quarter, second half, or so. Like this has been an issue that they cannot hang on to games.
Yeah,
which I can't comprehend because it's one of the best running teams in the league. So like we've had that discussion already. The thing that makes this one different is it's the Raiders.
Yeah,
and I got like, am I right about the Raiders? That might be my takeaway. It'd be less on the Ravens, and that maybe they're not that bad. Like Devontae Adams, whoever was writing him off, like I read so much shit about him during the like fantasy draft prep about no one trusts him with Minshew, like he's gonna lose a step.
He was incredible.
He looks amazing.
He was incredible.
Bowers, like just fell right into their lap.
Yep.
He looks like a stud.
Yeah, so. He's the best tight end in the league already. Adams, the catches, the one specific catch where he is out of bounds, repositions himself, but his whole body is out of bounds besides his feet, was insane. That is probably one of the best catches I've ever seen. He posts on Instagram. Yeah. Ethan, while I have you in the chat, hopefully still, I got Lambo, our graphic designer, sent me a Bill Belichick Ravens in a Ravens hoodie already, and he sent it right after the Raiders game. I'm not saying Belichick's the move, but I've seen a lot of things on Twitter. Is Harbaugh is he in the hot seat here?
I'm so sick of it's every year they whine about Harbaugh, like
I know
the playoffs every single year.
All right, we're getting
so they don't have, especially Ravens fans that are Ravens fans in general. Your team has been around since like the late 90s, and you want a Super Bowl within 5 years. You want another Super Bowl 10 years later. Because they haven't won a Super Bowl in the last 10, 12 years, like they think that they
restless.
Have the most pain of anyone. Like my team hasn't won 11 games since the 90s. So like I understand the bar is different for disappointment, and like losing in playoff games and losing when you should win is more crushing than just being bad. But I think that they take Harbaugh for granted
I think so
every
too.
single year.
We have some notes from him. Ethan says, I also think that we're hoping for here that the O line gets better as year goes on. We let the teams come back. Because it feels like we think, oh, we're so much better than the Raiders. We let teams come back because we feel like we're so much better than the Raiders. So once we get the lead, we stop trying, and then the other teams sneak in. And then he said, if we don't make the playoffs, Harbaugh should be out. That is an interesting take because you're 0-2. You should be 1-1. Hell, you should be 2-0 with if you want to blame the likely thing. And then
I'd have to get the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, of course. And then so then you have the Cowboys, the Bills, the Bengals. So the schedule this was the easy bump in the schedule.
Right. Well, that's why it was such an easy wise pick.
Yeah, exactly. Cowboys are at home after they just got shellacked at home. The afterwards they have. Sorry, I totally lost it. Who did I say that they have afterwards? The Bengals.
Bills on Sunday night.
Bills look like one of the best teams in football. Hand up, we were wrong. I was wrong there. And then you have the Bengals, and then I guess the Commanders. But you could be going in as your buddy said, you were telling me before the show. There's a reality where they're going into that Commanders game 0-5.
That'll be something. I might go if they're 0-5.
Ethan's going.
Actually, I'm doing it. Mark it. If the Ravens are 0-5, I will go to that game.
Look, all right. Look out for Ethan there. He'll be there. Yeah.
Or if you're dejected and want to sell your ticket, I'll take it off. For a healthy discount, an 0-5 discount.
Yeah, there you go. But I'm
expecting to be 1-4 by that point.
They need some work. They need a lot of work here to get back on track, and to make the playoffs. Their schedule does not let up. It goes Buccaneers, divisional round divisional game in the Browns. They do play the Broncos, the Steelers, the Giants later on, Steelers again, but they got
Steelers. You can only give one win though.
Yeah.
Games are too weird. Give it the Browns.
But they got the Eagles, the Texans, the Chargers, the Bengals again. They got a tough schedule ahead of them. And
mercy,
they need to change something up. Ethan, before we change from the Ravens, give us one thing you want to see change by the Cowboys game. And I'll wait for that comment as we go on to the next one. All right, the next one. Speaking of the Cowboys -6. The Raiders are punking us. Or not the Raiders. Sorry, the Saints. The Saints are punking us.
I think we have to be able to find, at least I have to be able to find humor in how egregiously wrong my picks were. It's not like the Cowboys won by 5 and the Ravens won by 7.
Yeah.
And I just missed 2 covers. The Cowboys, from the first snap of the game, just got wiped off the field at home.
Derek Carr
Saints look like the greatest show on turf right now with freaking Derek Carr and 30-year-old Kamara and Rashid Shaheed.
So who's the guy? Clint Kubiak?
Freaking mastermind.
He's the
genius.
He is not the anti-wise guy because he's clearly a wise guy, but this guy just saw our takes, and I don't know if he posts them in the locker room or what, but he took personal offense to our takes, and is this gonna end? Like, this has to end, right?
I think they're gonna beat the Eagles this week.
They're just like the best. They're just gonna score 40+ points. They were 3 points away from being the third team in since the 2007 Patriots to have 3 games in a row with 47+ points. They just missed out on it, but holy crap! Like, what the hell are we doing here? Derek Carr.
Week what? Like, the Panthers thing, and again, this goes into the reasoning of this pick. They beat up on the Panthers, and I was like, okay, cool, Derek Carr. Like, you're an NFL quarterback, you can beat up on a college team.
Yeah.
That's what I felt about that game. The Cowboys, for how bad their season ended last year, this is still a good defense, at least talent-wise. But I don't know who this game says more about. I have to lean towards the Saints, though. Like, it's pretty unbelievable. And it's not like their defense is horrible, too.
No, it's all those, and it's all like when Tyrann Mathieu was making plays, I was like, oh,
Demario Davis
Yeah,
and Cam Jordan, like, these guys have been in our lives for so long that I think we were just kind of done with them. We were just like, yeah, like, whatever. They've been here for so long. It's eventually the wheels are going to fall off. And Lattimore was banged up, too, going into the game. So
that's exactly what it was like.
we're just
And
dead wrong.
I didn't know
Dead
I didn't know they drafted Kool-Aid, but he played pretty well.
Mhm.
Pete Warner he's been playing pretty well. They drafted him a couple years ago. And dude, this offense is like Alvin Kamara is Alvin Kamara again. I don't know. I feel like this
The
happens.
fantasy thing, I don't know what. I didn't draft him once. I'm in a billion leagues.
Why did we think he wasn't going to be Alvin Kamara? Was that just like, and like this
Because
isn't
there
just
was
us.
injury stuff, and we didn't trust the offense, and I don't know.
He had 20 carries for 115 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then he had 2 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. Raheed Shaheed he just catches touchdowns and long balls. Chris Olave doesn't have to do much. Derek Carr completed 11 passes for 243 yards and 2 touchdowns. He even had a pick in there, and it didn't matter at all.
But they have a pick six or a punt return touchdown. And I forget what it was. It was either defense or special teams. Yeah.
I'm not seeing any punt return touchdowns. I don't think so. It's funny. This game was turned off pretty quickly. Yeah, this game was turned off.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching my game and it was like 21-6 in blink of an eye.
Yeah, they scored. I think they scored. Yeah, they scored 35 points in the first half. That's just insane.
In Jerry World.
In Jerry World. The Cowboys. It's funny. I don't know. This is one of those games where, if you're a Cowboys fan, I think you just kind of chalk it up to they caught them by surprise. And it's as lame as that sounds, and as much of an excuse as that sounds, they were up 14. They were up 14-7 or up 14-3 immediately, and then they were up
and
35 to
this is
16.
A Cowboys team that, and I was actually talking to my dad about this earlier, but like that team when they get down, they get down. Like when they get if they get behind 2 touchdowns, the game's over.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna lose by 30.
Yeah,
the same thing happened in the playoffs. It was like watching the same game almost.
Yeah,
as soon as they get down, they're screwed.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it could be that, but there's also, at least in my head, there is a very realistic scenario, and maybe it's just me trying to manifest it, but where the Cowboys absolutely implode this season and have like a 5-12 year. I almost don't want that to happen because it guarantees McCarthy's gone. I would love.
Does it though?
Keep kicking. 5-12, yes.
All right.
Yes. I mean, he was almost gone after 12-5.
Yeah, but he actually wasn't though. Yeah, I was gonna say he wasn't actually almost gone.
This is like, well, I mean, what they did in the offseason, I think Jerry Jones was like, all right, we're not going to improve the team at all. Like, now it's really on you, Mike.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Same group, you've gone 12-5 3 years in a row. You still can't win, you're out. I think he's going to be out. But
it's a weird team, and they're the thing is they're very top heavy. They got CeeDee Lamb, and then they got a bunch of guys. They got really just a bunch of guys at running back, and then they have Dak.
Yeah, literally like warm bodies.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about the Saints. Like I don't know if they're just gonna keep up. I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut until they lose in a bad.
I think we just stay away from them until we know what they are for sure.
Yeah.
This might be never.
Yeah.
I do have a Saints announcement though.
Okay.
I will be in New Orleans. December 15th for the Commander Saints game.
Nice.
At the Superdome.
That's cool.
For all I talk about the dome, I will experience it firsthand, and I'll come back with
with
the
detailed
report
analysis.
card.
Yeah.
Or how we'll see if I get intimidated if I start acting differently. Get inside those walls.
All right, we had an update on Ethan. He said, I want to see Justin Hill get at least 5 carries a game and Derrick Henry to get 2+ catches a game. It is way too easy for other teams to just run commit every first and second down because Henry is in and we run. Yeah, that makes sense. And then he said the Saints had 6 touchdown drives of 69+ yards. Nice.
Oh. It's like the Commanders' field goal drives. If you replace the touchdown with field goal.
All right. One more from your pick. Rams. This was another one.
So
over immediately.
Yes, so quickly. The first 2 picks, at least they were teams that I was happy to root against and happy to see lose. I'm sorry, Ethan, but this one I could not even believe. And as soon as Harrison scored that touchdown, I was like, well, this is trouble. And then you texted me, and I'm in the car on my way home from Jersey, and I got like Red Zone on my phone, and they're driving at this point at the end of the second half. It's like 25 or 24 to 6. Money line, take it. I was like, you know what? You were doing. I just have a feeling. I was like, all right. They go down. They get it inside the 10 with like 30 seconds left, and don't come away with a single. I'm just like, are you kidding me? And then the rest of the game's a wash. So,
I still think if they got even 3 points at the end of that half,
they score points there. That game changes.
I agree.
That sucked whatever momentum they could have possibly had was gone.
And then it just kept getting worse. Cooper Kupp got out.
Yeah.
And it was
no Kupp, no Puka, and no offensive line. You have like Tyler Johnson and DeMarcus Robinson.
Yep. Tutu Atwell.
So those guys, Tutu Atwell, yeah. What's the tight end? Parkinson.
Yep. He got 1 catch.
Those are your options for Stafford now going forward.
It's looking bleak.
This is not looking good. Yeah. Not looking good for this Rams team. To pivot though, we were right about this Arizona offense. They look incredible through 2 games. So I say that's for all that we were wrong about this week, we were right about that so far as like a season-wide prediction.
James Conner.
My 2 wise picks, I was actually right about 2 of the teams. I was right about the Raiders. I was right about the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So
yeah, spin zone.
We're taking away the positives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Moral victory. These picks were moral victory. Unfortunately, they were financial losses.
Yeah, moral victories, financial losses. They like the Cardinals really just couldn't do anything wrong in this game. I mean, Marvin Harrison immediately.
Did Kyler have a perfect passer rating?
Yeah, he had a perfect passer rating.
Doesn't happen very often.
No, James Conner was electric. He just bulldozes everyone.
Yeah.
And then Trey McBride got in the work. Marvin Harrison got in the work. And those Harrison touchdowns were beautiful. He had a whole highlight reel for the first 5 minutes.
Harrison over Harrison touchdown after the week 1. That should have been. I think I need to focus more on props.
All right. So that one we can go pretty quickly. My loss, the Colts, -3. This was Anthony Richardson sucks. He doesn't suck, but he's not ready. He's not gonna. I should never put money US dollars behind him.
I feel like Anthony Richardson against a good coaching staff is garbage.
This was a coaching victory for the Packers. They had like 1,000 rushing yards. Josh Jacobs ran it 32 times.
This game set football back like 50 years.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, Anthony Richardson still had a bunch. Like he had some great deep balls that went over. And then when it mattered, like he just couldn't get the passes in.
The picks were bad.
The picks were bad.
Did he finish with 3? I think like the Hail Mary at the end.
Yeah, he got 3.
But he had 2 that were both pretty bad.
The Hail Mary actually freaked me out. He didn't get it to the end zone. I was like, this guy's supposed to have his one thing is like he's supposed to throw
chuck it.
And he can't throw it a Hail Mary? Like, come on. So I thought that was concerning. You can just run on this Colts defense. The Texans did it. The Packers did it. So if you play in fantasy,
Mixon had like 30 carries.
Yeah. So if you play fantasy and your running back's facing the Colts, start him. And I got nothing else to say about this game. Malik Willis, I mean, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He didn't turn over the ball. Did you see the play?
Lose in the game.
Yeah, he didn't lose in the game. Did you see the play that the offensive lineman threw up on the ball and he couldn't throw it? That was gross.
I didn't watch it, but I heard it's really gross. I heard they were talking about this on Part of My Take that the ref apparently came up to LaFleur and was like, "Hey, like if that happens, should we stop play?" And he's just like, yeah.
Please.
I would prefer that you stop playing. If that happens again.
So it's funny. I saw it on Twitter. I just saw the clip of the O-lineman throwing up. I didn't realize it was on the ball and Malik couldn't throw the ball because of it. Yeah, I saw that he snapped. Like I thought like he threw up maybe next to the ball or over the ball.
Yeah.
Just right on it. That's grit. That's a gritty team right there.
I'm surprised that's never happened before, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm surprised it doesn't happen like once a game, honestly.
Yeah, I guess the guys are in such good shape that it's not like you're thrown up from.
Yeah, that's true.
Being out of shape cardio-wise, or
yeah. All right, the winners. The Panthers suck. Chargers. The Chargers ran down their throats. Bryce Young is officially benched. And
yeah, it's a shame.
Honestly. It is a shame. I'm in on the Panthers next week.
I kind of am too. Because I feel like this is the game where we're gonna be like, wow, Bryce Young really was that bad.
That's what I like. That's kind of what I'm
like
basing here.
He's a professional quarterback.
Yeah.
Who do they play?
The Raiders.
Oh, what's the line? Is it -6? Raiders -6?
Let me look. I don't have the line, but let me look.
Like I saw that, but I might be making that up.
And
it's got to be in Vegas.
It's in Vegas. Carolina +5.5.
Okay, no, pretty close. No, we're not doing. I mean, you can do it. I'm not doing it.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna pick the Panthers to like. No way. I would never post a Wise Pick graphic with the Panthers. Unless
I would never do that either.
But that was before we knew. Like they're historically bad.
Yeah, that was for some reason willing to give them the benefit of the doubt.
So this Bryce Young thing is kind of formulated into a theory of mine where maybe the preseason matters.
Maybe. I mean, if you look at the NFL as a whole, like I feel like offenses have been scoring has been down.
Yeah, but you know who played 2 preseason games?
Who?
Derek Carr. He played 2 preseason games, and he looks fucking amazing.
True.
Like
Caleb Williams played 2 preseason games.
That's true. He looks pretty bad.
I guess that's different though, because he's a rookie.
But these guys.
Okay, I don't know who played and didn't play in the preseason, so I don't know.
That's okay. That's fair because I also
let's collect some data points and then we'll
come back to this theory.
We'll revisit this. Yeah, let's table this.
The reason why I say this is because Mel Kiper had a great rant after the Bryce Young benching, and he was talking about how the Panthers put Bryce Young in the preseason for one playoff series against the Bills in the 3rd game right at the end of the game against all their scrubs. And he was like, this guy's never learned the offense. He has 2 offensive coordinators, 3 in 2 years. and they haven't given him time to grow. I think they've given him 11 games, something like that, maybe 16 games, maybe a full season, and they're benching him. It's a sad story because
And he's got to be the biggest bust of all time.
the smallest bust of all time.
Good one.
Thank you. He'll be a starter again. Someone's gonna take a chance on him.
So my coworker is a Steelers fan. Said he'll be on the Steelers next year, which would be perfect.
That would be hilarious.
Maybe 2 years.
The Steelers just
Maybe
pick
2
up
years.
everyone's bust after the years and start in first season and go 8-9.
And then they'll all convince themselves too that they'll turn it around.
Yeah. No, I mean I think he'll have, like we've seen Sam Darnold. It's come out be better after the Panthers. We've seen Baker Mayfield be drastically better after the Panthers. I think we'll see Bryce Young play, maybe not drastically better, maybe not have a redemption arc like some of these other guys, but he will play for another team, and there'll be at least one game where he looks all right.
Yeah, I think Zach Wilson, same thing.
Yeah, he'll find his way where he'll have to play, and he'll look all right for a game.
Although it didn't happen for Rosen.
It did never happen for Rosen.
Some guys are just bad.
That's true.
And it doesn't help that his situation was horrible, and the owner ripped apart the organization and meddled too much. But he might just suck. Did you see the Brady clip? It was going around when the news came out about Bryce Young. He was talking about how when he came up, there used to be college programs.
Yeah. That was a good quote.
And then by the time you got to the NFL, you had been in college for 4 years and only started for 1 or 2 because you were learning. And then you go to the NFL and you sit behind the starter for a year or 2 and you learn. And he was saying how it's like a travesty that these rookies get drafted and they play right away. And because they were never fully developed in college, that the coaches will just coach them based on what they know, and they never developed at the NFL level. So It was an interesting take from a guy whose opinion probably matters.
Yeah, I heard that, and he had a good point where he's like, they're not learning the program anymore; they're learning the playbook, and
right.
And I think there's definitely some merit to it. There should be no reason why a Heisman Trophy winner can fail this badly in the NFL. Like, I just don't. I refuse to believe that he's just that bad. Maybe he's just too small. Maybe he doesn't know how.
He's so small,
and he doesn't have the. He never had the escapability like Russell ever did. And he doesn't have the running like Kyler Murray has. So, I don't know. And like all these Alabama guys are getting picked apart. I mean, like they have the graphic of Mac Jones and Jalen Hurts and Tua and Bryce Young all in the locker room, and it's like Bryce Young, he's now benched. Tua just sadly is good but doesn't have a head.
Yeah, it's not.
Jalen Hurts is all right, and then Mac Jones is benched. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe.
We will see Mac Jones this year.
You think so?
Life on it. He will take multiple snaps.
I think what the bottom line is, I don't blame Bryce Young, but I do think the team will be better with Andy Dalton.
I do too. And I don't even think it's a question.
No, it almost kind of wants me to pick up, like, if Adam Thielen is on your waiver wire, like, he's open in these games.
I almost dropped Xavier Legette when I decided to stick it out.
Yeah, I have Deontay Johnson in the league, and he was on. I was trying to trade him.
That's a money combo.
Yeah, I was
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, I was trying to trade him off for anything, and now I'm going to start him because I think he's going to get like 11 catches, maybe for 80 yards, but that's fine with me.
And the ball will come out of Dalton's hands.
That's the thing, is that it's going to come out of his hands. There was open receivers in the 2 games.
It's a low bar.
the offensive line the past 2 games weren't as bad as everyone was saying. So maybe it is just on Bryce Young and maybe he's just trash, but it's a sad, sad ending to his Panthers career that had a lot of promise.
Yep.
Okay. That had promise
Never
when they
really though.
I know. And the funny thing is too, it's like
I
you
feel
could
like no one
talk
was that excited about him either.
No, they kind of were like like it was almost like you have to take him because he was the Heisman winner and the Alabama quarterback who won the national championship. And
What sucks even more for them is that Stroud is doing what he's doing.
yeah.
That makes it so much like that's just like kicking you in the balls and then spitting in your face while you're down.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Oh, by the way, this rookie quarterback who you could have had just won his division his rookie year and is a Super Bowl contender.
And your coaching staff who you fired wanted that quarterback desperately.
Yeah, that's tough. It's eerily similar to like early 2000s Washington Redskins.
No, that's exactly what it is. And David
Not
Tepper
the
is the Dan Snyder of this league
Yep.
now. He's hated here in Carolina. They showed I saw things on Twitter of signs in Charlotte around the stadium, and like they're making signs that are saying like Baker Mayfield 2-0, Sam Darnold 2-0,
Yeah,
and even Matt Rule 3-0.
Yeah.
And then
you know what happens next in this story arc is he bans signs for the stadium.
Oh yeah,
that's the sign.
Yep. And like apparently during the draft they had like I think we talked about this, but they had a David Tepper sell the team, and he like went into the bar and was like, "Take that sign down."
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a tool. Yep. Bleak future for the Panthers.
Yeah.
Let's see a Cam Newton. I'm back. Let's get him going against Arizona. Oh yeah,
December
22nd.
Cam
Let's
Newton
get it.
clip that made me so sad when some woman was interviewing him and she was like, or he said he thinks that he knows that it's over, and she was like, well, do you think that in your heart or like your brain? And he was like, up here I think it's over, but down here it's never over. I was like, oh, Cam,
that is sad. He needs an I'm back moment
so
again.
Sad.
When Andy Dalton sucks, they need an I'm back moment again.
The podcast is close.
Say again.
Him having a podcast is close enough.
It's fair. That's fair. All right. Chargers. Back to the Chargers. They look good. Brand new team. I love this Chargers team. They just like to run down your throats, exactly as we predicted. It should be a super talk about fast game. We talked about the Colts, Packers being a fast game. Steelers Chargers is gonna zoom right by. That's gonna have like 20 combined passing attempts. And but that's gonna be a good game.
It's a Big Ten West game.
Yeah, it is a Big Ten
Iowa,
West
Wisconsin.
Game.
That's what it is.
All right, the winner, the last winner, carrying the wise picks per usual. Whenever we put him on, it's funny. Whenever we put him on here, we should just know a weird week's happening because they normally are like they're the ones to save it. We're talking about the Washington Commanders facing the New York Giants, the kickoff of a century. And this was such, before you get into it, because it's your team, I'm gonna let you get into it. But this was such a good FU to so many different people because it was an FU to Cade York for missing the 2 field goals last week.
Yep.
It was an FU to the Giants who just didn't have a kicker. And then I don't know who the last FU is, but there are 2 big FUs to the Giants and Cade York. Let's just kick it down their throats. What was it? 7 for 7 field goals.
21-18. First game in NFL history for what? Score 3 touchdowns and not give up a touchdown and lose.
And lose. Yeah, and lose.
It's like 1,000 games. It's never happened.
So the Giants couldn't kick any extra points. They had to go for it.
They tried.
Yeah. Did they try?
Punter shanked it.
They tried on the first one. Punter shanked it. They had to go for it late in the fourth because they didn't have a kicker.
Crucial fourth down.
Literally, and to tie the game.
4th and 4 in clear field goal range.
Yeah, to tie the game.
Had to go for it.
Had to go for it.
Although neighbors dropped the ball,
Yeah.
so I will get into a very similar situation a couple of games from now. But
And I mean, Jane Daniels didn't turn the ball over. I thought he died though. I thought he died. That hit where he gets crunched in the ribs.
yeah,
I thought he was
dude,
cooked.
I literally so I was at brunch with my girl. It was my girlfriend's friend's birthday brunch. It was at 12:30,
Oh
and
Jesus Christ! That-
and one of
oh
her
my God,
friends is
that's
a
a rain
huge
check.
Giants fan.
Oh
So we walk in like 15, 20 minutes late, and I see where the two open seats are, and the one open seat is right next to her, and I was like, looks like I'm getting to watch the game after all.
yeah,
Because I knew like I wasn't gonna be the guy to like it's my girlfriend's friend's birthday. I'm not gonna pull out my phone and watch. Like I can wait.
yeah,
But I knew that she would. I was like,
yeah. You're like sweet.
oh. So anyway, I'm out at brunch watching this, and I see him go down, and I literally like I just pause. And
It's like fork and knife in hand. You're just like shaking.
I was I might have blacked out. Like I was just sitting there and I was just staring, and I just like looked up and I was like, no, 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 this can't be happening. Like
Yeah,
not like this. And I because it was on the phone, I couldn't tell. I thought it was his leg.
yeah.
So it goes out and he like hobbles off.
Hmm.
It's like I guess it's good he didn't get carted off, right?
Yeah.
I thought he was done, and then 2 plays later he's back in. I was
It,
like,
it
goodness
was
gracious.
it was crazy. Yeah, I thought he
It's
was
good. Like it's gonna happen. He's going to get hurt. Um, I just hope it's not severe. So
That's all you gotta hope for.
it's scary. It's really scary.
Um, go ahead. You take the reins here.
Yeah. So back to the kicker thing. Graham Gano got added to the injury report on Saturday. So he had like pulled a hamstring or something, but literally the day before the game.
Yeah.
And Dable, A, doesn't activate a second kicker, or just say like, let's not take the risk. We'll shut him down and we'll bring out the practice squad guy. Like that's solution number one.
Yeah.
Solution number two is don't let him do the kickoff. Have the punter do the kickoff.
Yeah. Save him for the extra point.
You could select solution A, solution B, or both.
Yeah.
He selected neither. He gets
Also,
hurt on the opening feel so it's impossible to feel bad for them. Like, oh no, they got screwed. They didn't have a kicker. They knew.
also,
They
a
knew that something was up with him.
in they signed last week, I guess. They signed Gunnar Oshetsky, former Patriot, to the practice or to the active roster. They reverted them back to the practice squad. So they had 52 men out of 53 on their roster heading into Saturday. They hear the Graham Gano thing. They still don't bring up their kicker from the practice squad with an open, and then they just go into the game with because I think you can only activate 50 players or something like that, but they go into the game with an open roster spot that they could have added a kicker.
Yeah, I mean, what a freaking moron!
And then so I was
Seriously, that is insane.
after the game.
Level.
After the game, I was missing some information, and I was kind of on Dable's side. Like, why should he have to worry about this kicker who got injured in the kickoff? But then when I realized that he was injured at the practice before, that is where he looks like
It's
the idiot.
already questionable.
Yeah, like that's where he looks like the idiot.
And you can't take a risk on it. It's not like wide receiver where you have 7 of them.
Yeah, no, you only have
Like
one
one.
active kicker. Yeah.
So anyway, thank you, I guess. For the could this be an early tank move? They're just like, yeah, like, oh well. If he's out, he's out. But like Dable's out of a job if they're that bad, so I think it's just incompetence. Anyway,
Joe Shane needs to be fired.
Shane is an owner.
That guy needs to be
He
fired.
sucks at his job.
It's
I
literally
can't believe they traded for Brian Burns.
it's every week.
3 best players are on the same position. They're just trying to recreate the Washington football team.
It is
Like, what was best case scenario this year? 7-9?
pretty much.
I mean, seriously, this team, like, they are a joke. They're a serious joke. And Neighbors looks awesome. And it's It's sad
He's gonna die out
that
there.
he's
He's
on
gonna
this
waste
offense.
away on that Giants offense.
I don't know what the exact stat is. I wish I knew it off the top of my head. Neighbors had like 130 receiving yards, and Daniel Jones threw for like 175.
Yeah, so 172 yards from Neighbors off 10 catches. Daniel Jones had 16 completions for 178 yards. He only had
No, 127, not
127.
172.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
127. And a touchdown. So he completed three
That's,
to Darius Slayton, two to Wanda Robinson, and then a catch for 0 yards to Devin Singletary.
I mean, you would have thought that nobody else was even on the field.
And they did, and,
Watching that
and it
game.
worked.
It was unbelievable.
Like it worked.
Oh, it worked because you're playing against the worst defense in the NFL. They
Yeah,
just kept running him on like they were literally playing Madden.
yeah,
It was like I have this really fast receiver, just run him on drag routes over and over again, and it worked every single time.
yeah. You get him in the middle of the field, and a couple
Talk about
linebackers are covering
incompetence.
him. He's gonna catch it.
Yeah, but like a good defense will plan for that, and
So,
they won't be able to run it 9 times in the same game.
so while this, I mean, it's a great victory. But what happened in the red
It's a
zone
victory.
that resulted in 7 field goals?
I averaged like 2 false starts per red zone possession.
Okay.
It was disgusting. I think Jaden gets too nervous to throw interceptions, which like you want to protect the ball, especially in the red zone. But I think he's not taking any risks right now,
Yeah.
but it's fine. But I think that's one of the reasons he doesn't want to force throws into the end zone. So he's more likely to put balls where only his guy can catch them, which often leads to incompletions, or he'll just fuck it and run. So I think that's part of the reason. And but the penalties were egregious. It was every drive they got, especially once they got inside the 10. It was just penalty after penalty. So
Do you think
I don't know what the deal with the false starts is. I don't know if that's on the quarterback, the coach, the line, whatever. But it was.
they might have just been scared because they were going against Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and
But they moved the ball, like they marked down. They didn't punt.
No, yeah,
They didn't punt once.
Yeah,
they had one drive that didn't end in points, and it was the kneel down.
That's a great drive. That's a great game. I mean,
or not that. Wait, yeah, before the end of the half.
Brian Robinson looks great.
Yeah, I mean,
Austin Eckler's looking younger
Robinson
every
looks
week.
Good. I told you, man. Eckler with less volume is a stud. I think the run game looked good. Like the tackles, Wiley and Coleman or Lucas are actually pretty good run blockers. Don't feel confident in pass protection, but they're pretty decent run blocking, and the interior offensive line is where the strength is. So I think they're going to be able to run the football. You don't get to play the Giants every week because Kayvon Thibodeau sucks at defending the run, and Burns isn't great either. So you just run at those guys, and it worked.
Yeah.
I think Cliff called a nice game for, like, obviously I'm not a offensive genius, but from what I do know, it seemed like Cliff called a pretty good game. They opened up the playbook a little bit more, it seemed like. And what was cool to see is you could tell Jaden like progressed as the game went on. Like he became less hesitant to just let it rip.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Like he made a throw to Noah Brown on the last drive.
Kind of like Noah Brown.
Noah Brown looks pretty good. Yeah,
It's pretty nice out there.
He's got dropsies, which will rear its ugly head at some point. But for now, he looks good. But it was just like a route over the middle that he let it, like as soon as he breaks to the middle, he let the ball go, and it picked up like 20 yards. But there was a play earlier in the game where he had that look and didn't throw the ball. It was like the same exact concept. You go second quarter, he tucks and runs. Fourth quarter, he makes the throw, picks up a big game. So that was pretty cool to see. I think there's already a lot of growth with him. Still, he's got to run the ball less. It's gonna get hurt. And he can't, like, it's not like can't sling it. He's got a great arm. And what is this picture?
I just sent. That's a sweet picture. I was looking. I wanted to tell. I wanted to bring up how we feel about the gold pants.
Gold pants. I thought they looked great.
I thought they looked great too. And I just
That was
sent
a
you a
major
grit.
improvement.
You
from
should
the white.
you should put that picture in the collage. Jane Daniels running
Okay,
like a Madden player,
do that.
and he looks electric
Yep.
in the golden pants.
He like for all the complaining that I'm doing about him running the ball, dude. When he takes off
It's like Mini
and
Lamar.
when he gets out of sacks, they could not like they had a bunch of sacks in this game, but it should have been for way more yards than it was. Like he had one where he was dead, like 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and somehow gets out of it and ends up losing 1 yard. It's unbelievable. And I'm just not used to seeing it at all.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat. I like it when he runs. But
No, it's fun.
So anyway, that was long-winded. I think they still suck, but I like what I see from Daniels.
Yeah, it should be a fun season. You should be in a lot of these games. Yeah, I think it should be. Like you guys should be competitive. I think it should be fun. I think you guys would be in a lot.
I don't like how the Bengals lost. Now they have to face them at 0-2 instead of 1-1.
Yeah, and they think they got Jeff, and they think they got Jeffed by the refs,
yes.
Which they didn't. We'll get to that game, but they didn't.
Yep.
No,
I didn't think they did either.
All right, let's. We haven't talked non-wise picks. The Niners blew a game to the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Vikings defense. I don't think the Vikings offense will hold up, especially if Justin Jefferson misses time. But the Vikings defense is frisky. There was a quote after the game. Brock Purdy went up to Brian Flores and was like, "You guys were doing some crazy concepts on defense," and he legitimately said that to him. And so I think they're a well-coached defense. They clearly, with Justin Jefferson, it doesn't matter who's throwing him the ball. He's gonna find a way to break it open. He's just the best wide receiver in the league. But with Justin Jefferson out, they haven't had Hawkinson all year. They didn't have Jordan Addison this game. Sam Darnold was still able to make the game-winning pass to seal the first down and kneel the ball out right at the end of the game. He right now is looking incredible. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's coaching from Kyle Shanahan brought him back, or the Vikings scheme is working. I mean, they're all kind of part of like the McVay tree-ish, at least the Vikings offense.
O'Connell worked with he worked with McVay.
So it's a good sign for Sam Darnold and the Vikings.
Yeah.
And I think almost like this kind of doesn't make too much sense, but I think it's a positive for JJ McCarthy that this team is even like that he's not playing, and that this team is going to be well suited for when he is going to be playing. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like if they can coach Sam Darnold, then they should be able to coach JJ McCarthy.
Right. Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it might even, who knows, it might even benefit him in the long run that he got to sit for, like, depending on how bad the injury affects him.
Yeah.
It might be a good thing that he got to sit out for a year and just learn. I don't know if that's the case when you can't get on the field at all or not, but I was a Vikings fan. That's how I'd like that.
Yeah, that's how I'd look at it too. The Niners are playing the Rams next week. The Rams should really just sit everyone. They're going to be coming in full force.
Punt the season.
Say again?
Punt the season.
Or punt the week. Just try to get everyone healthy. Like, let's not lose everyone.
Yeah.
But if you go 0-3, you kind of are punting the season. So I get what you're saying.
Yes.
But Niners need a pickup game. I really I don't know what went wrong here. Debo got hurt, so that affects things. But he played for most of the game. George Kittle looked good. Jordan Mason ran the ball well. I mean, Brock Purdy had an interception and he had a couple incompletions, but they just could not finish drives.
Yeah, I mean, this Minnesota team might be better than we gave them credit for.
I know that was bothering
We
you
were
all
talking about them
day.
going. It was really bothering me.
Yeah. Yeah. What are
Really
they next
bothering
week?
me because it's like the one year that I gave up on them. Like
Yeah.
I'd be 2-0.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
They're facing the
and that was
Texans
such a freaking
at
Vikings
home.
line too.
Facing the Texans at
Yeah,
home. Oh,
that's the test.
that is
Like
that is a
obviously you already
test.
beat a really like the NFL's premier, one of the NFL's premier teams. But if you can prove that that wasn't just an illusion,
Yeah,
and they actually play competitive against Houston next week, then I don't know, man. We might have been dead wrong on Darnold too.
I know. And I'm telling you, Bryce Young will be back. He'll be on some random ass team, and he'll start
Yeah.
2-0 for some team one year. Um. Also, here's a take. Maybe the Niners just miss Christian McCaffrey a little bit. I feel like Christian McCaffrey probably bails him out of this game.
Yeah. I mean, you could also point to the preseason thing where Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk didn't play at all.
Yeah, and Brandon Ayuk sucks. He hasn't been able to do anything.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
The same with Jamar Chase.
Man.
God, that's what I'm saying. These guys need to freaking play.
Infuriating.
Something about practice that just makes everyone better on Sundays.
Yep.
All right, let's move on from that. We got to kill some time here, or not kill some time, but rush through these a little bit. Browns Jaguars. I fucking hate the Jaguars.
Yeah, rush through it. I mean, that was. I didn't watch. I probably saw 30 seconds of this game. I'll be honest. That was disgusting.
Well, the Browns almost they wanted to blow it terribly at the end. They kept passing on downs. Deshaun Watson was not running the play clock all the way down. Dude, I don't know. Cause like, there's no reason why this Jags team should be 0-2. There's no reason why they should be 0-2. Trevor, you can remember how I talked about all off season. You can make a clip of Trevor Lawrence passing touchdowns that don't count. All this year, you can make a 7-minute clip of Trevor Lawrence airmailing every fucking receiver on the field. Excuse my French there, but God, this drives me crazy. I mean, Brian Thomas is open all the time. He misses them at every play. Christian Kirk hasn't been able to do anything. Gabe Davis is a nothing. Dude, I don't know what's like. They named their stadium Trevor Bank Stadium for this game, and they lost.
Saw that.
They lost. Trevor Bank Stadium.
That's such a Jags thing to do too.
I know. Like, he's won you nothing. He's won one playoff game, and he won a massive contract.
Yeah. Imagine if like a real NFL team did that. How humiliating that would be.
I know.
The Jags just like.
That's the other thing. There's like no it's funny enough. I know a Jags fan, but it's not like he's from Florida. I don't think there's any Floridian Jags fans, unless I guess you have to be like
Duval. Their stadium. I don't know who's there.
Like, you just got to be Duval for Max. Yeah, you just got to.
You have to be, yeah.
But and does he God? He just drives me crazy because I just I did nothing but believe in this guy.
They're a reputation team.
They are a reputation team, and they have good. Also, I think it's Doug. Doug just kind of blows at coaching. There should be no reason why they're losing.
He just fell into a Super Bowl.
He really did fall into a Super Bowl, and it might be all because of what's his name, the coordinator, Frank Reich, who nobody wants to hire.
Yeah. Well, someone gave him a shot.
Yeah.
He went 0-11.
They should bring him into the Jags. Make him the quarterback coach for the yeah. Let's get the band back together.
Dude, we're bringing the band back together.
God, let's move on. That just pissed me off. All right.
Browns are still trash. That means nothing.
Yeah, the Browns tried to lose that game really badly. I have Amari Cooper. He's getting 7 targets a game and nothing to show for
Amari Cooper season.
Yeah, he's got nothing to show for it. So that's tough. That's real tough. All right, what else we got? I'm trying to hold up on the Jets Pats because we'll talk about them leading up to tomorrow. So let's go
Okay.
Chiefs Bengals. This was a great game. Really
That
fun.
was a damn shame.
I know, but it is a damn shame, but it's also how about you just don't foul him?
No, what I know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this was like a ref ball game.
No, yeah, no, yeah.
It's unfortunate that it was the Chiefs because we've done this so many times before.
It's how they won a Super
I saw
Bowl.
a stat that was like, this is the stat that the NFL doesn't want you to see. It was like Patrick Mahomes leads the league in interceptions
Yeah,
overturned.
I have seen that.
By penalties. I'm like, okay. I mean, yeah, you're right. Like, he got there early.
And
it is what it is. He should have.
Yeah. And I think the biggest I think the Bengals need to close on that last drive. They couldn't have settled for a field goal, and they needed to close that last drive. Because
But it was also like 4th and 15.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
On the play.
Yeah, that is true.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. The thing that sucks is that for Cincinnati, I mean, A, you own 2, but B, you caught him on an off day.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about this with Mahomes, where your only real shot is if he has an off day, and he was bad.
He was bad.
For his standards, he was bad.
I think it was his second lowest passing yards game in his career.
Yeah.
And you got to win those games if you're the Bengals.
That's not surprising. You have to, yeah.
And the other thing is, they couldn't run the ball all game. A lot of Mike Gesicki. Jamar Chase was nothing.
Yeah. Non-factor.
No, non-factor. And
literal non-factor. All these clowns who I don't even know who's the one? Burton?
Yeah,
who's that guy?
He's a rookie.
He'd had like 12 catches.
Yeah, what?
There's another tight end too.
Sample?
What's his name? Alex something.
Drew Sample or Eric All Jr.?
Eric All, yeah. That guy.
I think he's a rookie too. Yeah.
Gesicki looks freaking good.
Gesicki does look good. The Pats didn't throw to him enough.
He's a good player.
He is. The Dolphins never passed to him, and neither did the Pats. And I don't know why.
He had a couple games on the Dolphins though, where you were just like, "This guy's legit."
I think he's one of those guys that every time you pass him the ball, he's for some reason in the air. And I think that's why people don't want to. I think
he does go in the air too much.
I think that's why people don't throw to him because he is just always in the air. And against the Patriots, he dropped that touchdown, which I think the refs. I hate when the refs do this. They do like that. The last. Oh, this is what we should have called there. After the game's over.
Oh yeah.
And I think they said that they should have called that a touchdown. But that being said, he was in the air, and it made it look like he didn't catch the touchdown. And maybe he could have just probably caught it a little bit gentler and caught. That would have been secure catch.
Yeah.
But no, he is good, and it is it's nice. But Zach Moss needs to be better. They need to run the ball with Chase Brown more. And they just need to get the running game going because Joe Burrow looked good. He looked decent against the Pats too, Joe Burrow. And you're right. When
you're right. They can't finish.
No, they couldn't finish. And when you have Mahomes on Worthy wasn't getting anything done. Rashid Rice had that one touchdown. That's about it. And that was a nice touchdown. He put it where no one else could get it. And they had 2 incredible interceptions that should have sealed the game, and they couldn't finish. And it was a classic Chiefs win that everyone could bitch about online if you wanted to, and they won a Super Bowl this way. I mean, it was the right call. It was just a lame call.
And they also beat the Bengals in the AFC Championship this way.
Yeah.
I think that was the divisional round.
Is this the team?
2 years ago.
Is this the team that they don't want to see?
Round. The Bengals?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's been that way for 4 years now.
All right. Yeah. I agree. I agree with you.
I mean, they're the only team that's consistently gone toe-to-toe with them.
Yeah.
And beaten them.
100% agree. Broncos Steelers is a game that happened.
I can't believe that I did not give out the under as a pick here.
Yeah, this was the easiest under. They could.
What are we doing here?
I don't know.
How is that not a wise pick?
I don't know.
They could have made that under 25.
It could have made it under 21.
Was the final 13-6?
Yeah, it could have made it under 21.
I mean,
Um,
Bo Nix sucks.
did you hear
Shouldn't
the
have,
Did you hear the quote?
shouldn't have wandered away. What?
All right. First of all, yeah, you're right. I
Okay.
need to apologize for freaking out right before the season and thinking I needed to I needed to stick to my guns.
Cold feet.
And I did get cold feet. I got cold feet on my take. And I left. But it's I didn't leave Bo Nix at the altar. I ran up and said I made a mistake. It's like I do love you, Bo
Yes, you did.
Nix,
Yeah.
and I don't. Um,
You ruined his wedding, and then you broke up with it.
yeah, I signed the prenup or I didn't sign the prenup
You're like
and then
10
took all of his shit. Yeah, yeah,
with Victoria's wedding. Remember it in How I Met Your Mother.
yes, yeah, yeah. I didn't know where you're going there, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you hear his quote about the second interception in the end zone, where he was like,
Oh yeah. When I dropped back, threw the ball in the end zone, and the
and
other
he got
team got
intercepted.
it.
Yeah, and the other team got
Like
it.
that. Yeah.
And I was like,
That was like the Baylor guy when they lost to Yale in March Madness, and the reporter was like, "How does Yale out rebound Baylor?" And he goes, "Well, you see, when there's a missed shot and you go up and you grab the ball and you pull it down and take possession, that's what we call a rebound. So they did that more than we."
yeah, that was Bo Nix. Man, they can't run the football. They can't pass the football.
Told you, dude, they are horrible.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why I got cold feet.
Horrible.
And they kicked 2 sad field goals in the fourth. The first one was because I guess they've never been shut out at home, so they kicked the sad field goal to not be shut out at home. But then it forces them to kick the second field goal, which still takes a two. So they kicked 2 field goals to make the first one a 2 possession game, and then the second one was
Right.
still a 2 possession, or I guess a 1 possession game. But they would have had to. It would have been a 1 possession game to tie it. It was just depressing.
Oh,
It was very sad.
man, Sean Payton is going out banging.
And then they don't even kick the.
This
They
is
don't
like
even kick
legacy
the onside.
ruining.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is definitely legacy ruining, and I think it needs to go on the quotes that like, and I guess he didn't trade for Russ, but like he soiled the Russ thing instantly the second he walked in the building.
Yep.
And
he talks about how clever he was to
Picking
pick
Bo
Bo Nix.
He said he was Mahomes.
He was like, "Oh, Minnesota really thought that we were
Yeah.
gonna try to move up."
and he called him Mahomes.
What an idiot.
Called him Mahomes.
Bo Nix will be somewhere else in a few years. Bo Nix can still be a good NFL quarterback. He just sucks right now.
The issue is he's 24. Like he'll be still like he doesn't get this Sam Darnold treatment where I think Sam
That's
Darnold
true,
is
yeah.
the same
He
age.
is old. Arnold played like 2 years in college, but Nix played 7.
Yeah. He's 27, so he's 3 years old. He's 3 years younger than Darnold. Darnold's been in the league for like 6 years.
Ages. He's been on 4 teams.
He's a Jet. He'll be a Jet at some point.
Bo Nix?
Yeah, Bo Nix will be a Jet at some
Uh-huh.
point. It'll be in like 4 or
Obviously.
5 years, but he'll be a Jet. This is bad.
Steelers,
Let's move on.
anything? Okay, so something that I noticed, and it's my new favorite thing that's gonna start happening more in Steeler games. And maybe it's happened before and I just noticed it this time, but it's when George Pickens makes a big play and he takes 30 seconds to celebrate.
Yeah.
And he doesn't notice that there's been a flag thrown. It's the funniest thing in the world.
I gotta say,
Like he had a beautiful catch that he made and like got a first down and stood on the Broncos sideline like this, like 20 seconds.
I'm looking at it right now.
It was hysterical.
You gotta look at what
It
I said.
happened again. He scored a touchdown.
I just sent you the touchdown one. It is hilarious. He's standing arms like the like he's standing at the front of the Titanic, and there's a flag on the play, and the Broncos corner is just pointing the other way.
Long.
Oh, here's another one. God, if you just look up
that. I'll put it on there as well.
if you just look up George Pickens,
and I
you
was
can see
not
all this.
watching this game for very long, and it happened twice on like 5 plays.
He is. I will say he has a Hall of Fame career already for calls being touched, like or plays being called back. He has a Hall of Fame highlight for
It's really
plays that get
upsetting
called back.
because he's the only player on the offense that is exciting,
Yeah,
and they have Justin Fields throwing him the ball, and then every big play he makes gets called back for a penalty.
and even the ones that he does make, like he makes some too that the defense has a penalty, so it negates all the yards. So it's like, so it screws you. Like it screws you if you have him in fantasy. He's a terrible fantasy player, but he's the most exciting fantasy player to have on your team.
Yeah. You also you always worry just a little bit that he's gonna punch somebody in the face for no reason.
Yeah.
But
yeah. No, he's got that Steelers
even more electric.
Yeah. The only notes I have for this game was Darnell Washington got a touchdown.
Yeah, he texted me.
Send it to the highlight reel. That guy,
athletic free.
Yeah, that guy, 265 pounds, tight end, went to Georgia. If you remember him in Georgia,
I remember when he was drafted, we were just like, "Oh, how he slipped so far." It's like maybe he's just not that good at football.
No, he just I don't think he is, but he is. If you watch his highlight reel, he's an athletic freak that is just. I hope, and he's just so much bigger than everyone else on the field that I hope they keep using him because.
Yeah, me too.
They like we haven't had I don't know, even Brock Bowers isn't nearly as big as this guy, I don't think.
No, Brock Bowers looks like an accountant.
Yeah, he really does.
It's like balding already.
Oh, I don't like that Brock Bowers is younger than me. I don't like that at all. Anyways, so that's done searching up tight ends.
I mean, all of the NBA guys are younger than you.
Yeah, I know, but I'm okay with that. Like that I'm okay with. Like there should be freshmen in college. Oh, Ethan sent us a little while ago. I don't know why these didn't load, but he sent. What do you think on Chase Daniels' tweet regarding a 3-team trade between the Finns, Rams, and Panthers? Did you see that? Chase Daniels.
That's not gonna happen
now. No. Former quarterback says, "Oh, I think we should have a 3-team deal with the Dolphins."
Stafford at the Dolphins.
No, yeah, Stafford gets to the Dolphins. The Rams get Bryce Young, and Tua. I don't know where he goes, but I think Tua goes to the Panthers.
Retires.
Yeah, I don't know where he goes, but I thought that was stupid. That's never gonna happen. Why would the Rams punt on everything that they have for Bryce Young? Anywho.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Let's keep this train moving. What else do we have? Sunday night, right? That's it?
Yes.
Sunday and Monday. Bears, Texans. Both teams looked a little sloppy. Another 4-hour game. Reminded me of the South Carolina game. Caleb Williams is somehow behind a terrible offensive line. I don't know how that slipped under the rug. How did we realize that they're like? I thought they were weren't they drafting people? I thought this was the whole. I thought they were drafting.
I came into the year thinking that they had an okay.
That's what I thought too. I thought that this was fixed. Apparently it's
they also face a good pass rush.
Yeah, they did face a good pass rush.
So it's kind of a little bit of slack.
Yeah.
And can we not blame everything on the O line?
It's such an easy blame.
Does that? It's such an easy
blame. That's a thankless job.
Some quarterbacks have bad O lines and they win games.
That's true.
James Daniels.
The Bears should never wear all orange, especially with a bad O line.
Yeah. Okay. That was actually. I'm glad you said that because that was my immediate takeaway from this game, which is they look terrible.
They do look terrible, and it also why were the Texans wearing white at home?
That I don't mind. I thought they've done that before. I think they look okay.
You're not the Cowboys. The Cowboys are the only ones allowed to wear white at home.
Other teams do that. The Dolphins do it.
Yeah, and I think it's dumb. They should wear the green.
Commanders have done it. The Vikings do their white.
Why would the Commanders do
white out?
Burgundy and gold.
They would do it when they played the Cowboys if the Cowboys had to wear.
That's cool. See, now that's cool.
Yeah. And they do it. They still do it.
But okay, my argument here is they were all white, so it gives the opportunity for the Bears to wear all orange here, and that's a terrible feat.
Yeah, we don't want that. No, that's not good for anybody. The Bears have such a classic uniform. Don't make it orange.
No,
It's
the helmet,
disgusting,
like, and like
especially with the orange helmet.
that's what I was gonna say. It's the helmet that's really the egregious one.
Or yeah,
It looks like like
yeah,
I
they look
don't.
worse. Like they look like they play worse in orange.
Yeah, I agree. They also like I don't use this normally, but it looks like throw up. Like it looks like he ate a bunch of Cheetos and he threw it up.
Yeah, or orange Gatorade or something.
Yeah, it's bad. The Texans, they didn't look good either. So Bears defense, maybe a dub for them.
Yeah,
See, no one could
I mean,
catch
I thought
though.
Stroud looked decent though.
Oh yeah,
Stroud
Stroud looked
like
good. It's no one could catch.
he has such a calming presence in the pocket.
Oh yeah.
Like he looks so unfazed every time there's a rush, and I can't like you can't teach that.
No, and I think
Like that's just having a feel for the pocket, and he's got it.
he does have it, and that's the key with him and why he's so good is because
Yep,
he doesn't feel it's like Tom Brady. He doesn't feel the pressure when
yep,
a lot of the other guys feel the pressure. And you could tell Caleb Williams felt the pressure. Did you see after the game CJ Stroud tried to give him some advice and Caleb Williams was basically like step
yeah.
off.
I did see that.
I
I
have
saw a photo. I didn't
I
see
can
the play,
see
but
I can see two arguments here. I know it really in general spec like who cares?
winning first.
You think you should do you want me to explain my two
Yeah,
points?
go ahead. Well, now I want to hear what your
All right,
takes are.
my takes on this is the Caleb Williams point of view is look, this guy's been in the league for 1 year. His you know, I won the Heisman over this guy, yada yada yada.
Yeah,
But the CJ Stroud argument is, hey, I was the best rookie like almost ever. I won the division.
right.
I just beat you, and you look like shit. So maybe you should listen a little.
Also, I had a bad start to my year last year too.
Yeah, yeah, that's the other
Did
thing.
they play the Ravens and they got their ass kicked?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. And that well, do we know what he said though? Because what if he was just like, "You little bitch," or whatever.
No, I like he so from the clip, he's like come over here, come over here, come over here, and Caleb was just like, and CJ like puts his hand on his shoulder and he's like, listen here, pal, like you need to like I don't know if he's what he's trying to tell him, but Caleb is just
Kind of funny.
it is kind of funny. It's like it reminded me of like a big brother little brother moment where it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like when it's like especially like your brother. I mean, I had an older brother. You didn't have an older brother, so when my brother would beat me in something
Mhm.
and then want to tell me how to be better at it, I just would never want to listen to him.
Right, yeah.
And
I don't wanna hear it.
and it would actually make me angrier that he was trying to help
Oh yeah,
than he
yeah.
was.
It's like patting you on the head.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really what CJ Stroud was doing, and it was an ultimate alpha move. Honestly, he completely alphaed
Yes.
him. I don't think there should be concern for Caleb Williams. I don't think.
Yeah,
No, it was a good team. It was on prime time, and they kept it
too
within one
early.
score. Yeah, they kept it in one score. I mean, they were in at the end of the game. It's way too early. I agree. All right. Oh, this game was
He
great.
does look poopy though.
Monday night was great, and it might have.
I think it was pretty electric.
It was such a bad ending to our bad weekend for the podcast, but it was a joyous way to end it because we just wrote off this game. We were saying the Falcons are going to be 0-2. So did everyone else, to be fair. But we thought the
The
Eagles.
line did start when AJ Brown got ruled out. The line started trickling down a little.
Yeah, the AJ Brown thing was
I mean,
definitely
I texted
important.
you that I almost took it, but I'm confident if I did take it, that the Eagles would have won by a touchdown.
Saquon would have caught that.
No, yeah, no regrets. No regrets.
So down, what is it? I guess the score would be 18-16 at this point. No,
It was 21-15. No.
15. It would be 15.
18-15.
Yeah, 18-15. 3rd and 3. They pass it to Saquon. He drops the ball. I was listening to Pardon My Take today. They had probably about 45-minute argument on. I think that's a hindsight. I think it's a silly argument, and they were saying like Big Cat apparently was texting Max at the game, selling that, but Saquon drops that ball.
think in the moment that they should have been running the ball there.
Did I think in the moment?
Yeah.
I
As
mean,
soon as they snapped it, I was like, what are they doing? And I know he should have caught it, obviously. Like, if he catches it, it doesn't matter. No one's even talking about it.
yeah.
But I think he absolutely run the ball there. Especially when you're the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that really hurts. It's like you have the heaviest offensive line. You've been running well all game. Everyone has been getting 3 yards. And you're right. And when you're there, you're supposed to run the ball to take off. Worst case scenario, they're kicking the field goal anyways with 40 seconds left or less on the clock. They pulled the Falcons. I mean, they completely pulled the Falcons, and they passed it when they shouldn't have. And they had a 99% chance of winning the game, or 98.3 or whatever, and then it went all the way down to 0. Kirko is back. Kirko chains.
Well, and the other thing is, like, even once you do that and you drop the ball and whatever, like, deflating, you're still up 6 with a minute 30 left. Like, maybe don't play Swiss cheese defense. And that drive was the easiest 2-minute drive I've ever seen.
Oh,
it was like 4 plays.
Yeah. And it's
so easy.
These defensive coordinators, and I mean, it happens in Madden too. You think with that little time, you just got to play prevent defense. But the prevent allows 60 yards or like 40 yards every time someone does prevent defense.
Yeah.
So
and they got bullied up front too.
Yeah, their defensive line looked bad. All those defensive line draft picks that we were talking about looked bad. Josh Sweat didn't look good. I thought Quinton Mitchell looked good. Bryce Huff didn't look good. And Jalen Carter didn't do anything. Like it was rough going for them.
Also read that Jordan Davis was like there was some sort of issue that he was late to a team thing or something, and that's why he didn't play as much.
I don't know how you have both those Georgia guys, and like maybe it's just because they're young. Like they're both still really young. Both still got to grow into their own. But those guys should be dominant forces in the interior defensive line, and that should not be the issue. And that was a major issue for them. Saquon needs to catch that. And
he does, yeah.
It was almost like that was a little victory for the Giants fans. The little victories that you're going to get throughout the season are those.
They will be very minor and very few.
Yeah.
But yes.
But this was a big one because it literally lost them the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
And then, as you said, that 2-minute drill was Swiss cheese. Was it Drake London? Was that last touchdown on Devontae Smith? Or not Devontae Smith.
Shut up the crowd. Which was...
Oh, after celebration?
Yeah.
Not who's
the dumbest
Darius Slay. That's right.
Penalty that maybe I've ever seen.
It's a pretty bad one.
I could not. I was like, dude, what are you thinking?
Bijan looks incredible. Darnell Mooney had that he burnt Gardner Johnson, which
Mooney looked good.
Yeah, Mooney looked good. Gardner Johnson, he has every game he's gonna get burned, isn't he? Maybe once a game.
Yeah, but he did make that 4th down stop, which should have been the end of the game anyway.
That's true. When
he came in on the blitz, which was an awesome play.
Yeah, that was a great play. He also great job at instigating. He's a good instigator. So that's a plus, I would say.
Yeah.
But what a turnaround for the Falcons. This was gonna look bleak. You were going up against the Chiefs, and then the Red Hot Saints and the Buccaneers, who are leading your are both tied for your division right now. This is they snuck out a win here. Everyone thought they would lose. Yeah. Say again.
They stole it.
Yeah, they did steal it. They literally stole it from the Eagles. And now they're facing the Chiefs on Sunday night. I don't know what to expect. The Chiefs didn't look very good. I expect it to be a good game. I think both these offenses are waking up a little bit. Kirk, he's still at the first.
It's a good Sunday night game. I think Atlanta's a good team.
They're I think, the week 1, I think they were going up against TJ Watt, and that really freaking matters. I mean, and I know he did it against Bo Nix, but he really does matter. So I do like the Falcons. I do think the Falcons are going to be all right.
Although I will say, if you can chalk up a loss to the fact that the other team had a really good player on defense, that's not
great. Like,
Yeah.
they had TJ Watt, so we're screwed. Like, yeah,
That's fair, but like I feel like the
should
Steelers
have some sort of plan in place.
we'll have to see what the Steelers do against the Chargers, because if the Chargers run down their throat, then I'll agree with you. But I think the Steelers, their defense with TJ just messes up what everyone wants to do. I don't understand.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
I think running against them might be the way. But
Thursday night football, my one primetime game of the year, I believe, for the New England Patriots, and I'll take it early. I'll take it out of the way before Drake. I don't want Drake May in primetime. I do not want him in primetime. So we'll get to see Jacoby Brissett average it up. The Jets had a sneaky game. There was a point in time I thought the Jets were going to be 0-2 and the Pats were going to be 2-0.
Yeah.
They were facing the Titans. We didn't talk about this, but Will Levis time. He literally
he's going to get benched this year, I think. He's their backup.
He saw Tajay Spears sitting in the backfield and goes, he's about to get sacked and goes, "Oh, there's a player right there," and literally tosses him the ball behind his back. Or not even behind his back. He's turned around and he flops on the ground like a frog as he's throwing him the ball. It's a fumble. The Jets take it. Will Levis, I mean, Calvin Ridley looked good.
It's Mason Rudolph, yeah.
Yeah, he is. He kind of is Mason Rudolph. But he's Mason Rudolph with wild turnovers. He's like Mason Rudolph with Carson Wentz turnovers.
That's just Carson Wentz.
He might just be Carson Wentz. He might just be a bigger Mayo-y Carson Wentz.
Don't you know a Titans fan that said Mason Rudolph is going to play this year?
Yeah, my roommate.
And I think when I heard that, I was like, come on. And now I'm like, I'd be pretty surprised if he doesn't.
I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, Malik Willis revenge game next week. So
yeah,
big
they're
stop.
Favorites too.
Yeah, that's crazy. But they can't stop turning over the ball. Like this offense isn't that bad. Tony Pollard hasn't looked terrible. I mean, they could run the ball a little bit better. The Jets, Rodgers looked all right. Breece Hall and Braylon Allen are the real show here. Those guys are both insane. Yep. They have two awesome running backs, and I don't know. The Jets, it's like they're figuring out a piece at a time. It feels like, and maybe they'll put it all together Thursday night. I don't know.
Yeah, week 13.
Yeah, they'll finally realize
limited power.
The Pats, classic non-Belichick loss, or non-Brady loss. Sorry, not Brady loss. They were in it the whole game. They took it to overtime. 4th and 1 on like their own 20-some. They punt in OT. Mayo said it was his gut feeling to punt. I don't like it when your gut tells you to punt in overtime.
It's a punt.
So in overtime, there's a pass interference call that Tyler Lockett tells Jonathan Jones, the offensive player, to the defensive player, saying this should not have been a defensive pass interference. So that's annoying. I don't care too much. Seahawks 2-0. Geno Smith looked awesome. I'll give him that. DK Metcalf had that one long touchdown. Christian Gonzalez is still awesome though. And the Pats are just they're fun. I enjoy what they're doing here.
That's not what we expected.
No, not at all.
Them, so.
But the fun's gonna wear out. Jacoby Brissett's got like 2 games, I think, left in him.
He only has fun in him. Jacoby Brissett was fun for the Commanders last year too.
Yeah, and it's funny because like he's a perfect backup. He's not gonna turn the ball over. But he's not gonna push the ball downfield at all. Passing to wide receivers is pretty abysmal. Wide receivers this game had 2 catches for 12, or one had 2 catches for 12 yards, and one had 1 catch for 7 yards.
It's possible that the wide receivers are just ass.
I don't think so. Demario Douglas was complaining, saying he was open on plays. Jalen Polk got a touchdown, the rookie, so that was cool to see. But he just he's targeting Hunter Henry like no one's business. The weapon got some carries, and he had a pretty big run.
So I heard a stat that the weapon has the highest yards per carry after contact through 2 weeks.
Really?
Because Brian Robinson is second.
That's
Yeah,
pretty.
it's
That's
gonna
pretty
get-
awesome. Look at that. I was out on the weapon. I thought he had a good game. I mean, he had a great game actually. But the
Yeah,
Pats were set.
he's like that. He'll fumble next week and you'll be down on
Yeah, that's how I figure. Um, I was really happy when I saw that Kenneth Walker was going to be out. They were like, screw it, we're just not going to run the football. And Geno Smith threw it 44 times for 327 yards. So they had a pretty good day on our defense. But whatever. I want to beat the Jets. I will say that. I want to beat the Jets.
I think so.
Well, yeah. I wanted to win this game too. I'm just not heartbroken that we lost. I do want to see Drake May soon, though. I feel like we win that game with Drake. I feel like that game's won.
Let's claim.
No, yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. I can make those claims until he plays. So like, let's just.
That's true. Yeah.
Like that. I only have a finite time, and like, we lose by 3 points to the Jets. It's like, oh, come on, like Drake May could have won that game. Like it's perfect almost.
Well, just watching the other rookie quarterbacks.
Oh, it makes me so happy that he's not
Right.
playing. I'm ecstatic that he's not
Well,
playing. Say again.
except for mine.
Well, yeah, Jane Daniels. He looks like the best one out of all of them. But no, I like.
You seen that on Twitter? That he looks like the best one. I haven't seen anyone say that.
No, I haven't seen that on Twitter. I just said that was just a personal statement. Are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm being sarcastic. Yeah.
Oh no, I hadn't
I've
seen that.
some-
I guess I'm not
And
heavily.
then people trying to do like people that had him in front of Caleb are just doing like their victory laps already. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah,
He hasn't
it's a
even scored
classic.
touchdown. They're like, this is why I had Jaden Daniels, and it's like, all right.
Hey, and from what
That's
we
totally
said,
great.
if to be fair to what we said on our draft show, Jane Daniels is older than Drake May. If we started like if the Pats got Jane Daniels, I would have wanted him to start from the one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, completely different scenario.
yeah,
But I do get like the antsy, like wanting to see what you got because right
Yeah.
now you don't know. And
Yeah,
that's what
and-
you do.
but I'm actually happy that they're not starting him. Like as much as I could say all I want that they could win these games without Drake May, but Drake May could look terrible and get tackled 100
you
times.
want to see him, but at the same time you also prefer that he doesn't play.
Exactly.
Both can be true. It's like when your team's tanking, and when you watch the game, you have to root for them to win, but deep down you actually don't want them to win.
All right. I know when. All right. This is when I want him to start. After the next Jets game, October 27th. Then we have the Titans, Bears, Rams, Dolphins, Colts. So like that's a pretty nice stretch to start him out in.
Doable.
Yeah.
It's doable for sure.
All right. But Thursday night. I mean, I don't know what to predict.
I might
here.
take the Pats.
I think you
might
take
take
the.
the
I think
Pats.
you take the under
It's a big number, right? Isn't it like 7?
6.5. Under 38.
Yeah.
I like under 38 too. I think this Pats defense is gonna like the Aaron Rodgers is not.
I don't know if I trust the Jets defense.
That's the thing.
Well,
The,
you
you
know,
were able,
it's-
the Niners were able to run all over the Jets defense, so it should be interesting to see if the Pats can do the
Ramondre.
same. Yeah, Ramondre can do the same, and the weapon.
Maybe I'll take the over.
I do like Pats
Yeah,
spread.
I know.
I don't like their money line. I wish that was
Yeah.
like plus 300. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
But I think it should be a fun game. I think Rodgers has struggled a little bit, so it should be a nice
Mhm.
test for the defense. I like getting the Jets on a short week. I want old quarterbacks on a short week. So
Simple philosophy.
yeah, simple philosophy. And that's all I got really. So all looking good. I mean, all still feeling good here in New England.
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
All right. I think that's we got Woj retiring. You see that?
Yes, I did see that.
Just wanted to mention it before we go. So Woj,
Legend.
yeah, absolute legend. It's just sad. I mean, I don't know who to trust anymore. It's just gonna be Shams, I guess, which is who we're gonna have to trust. And I like
So-
Shams. I don't mind Shams at all. But it just wasn't the Woj bomb, you know. And he had one final Woj
Yeah,
bomb,
it's not the same.
and now he's going to be the
Isaac.
GM for St. Bonavard.
What does that mean?
Is that
GM of a college?
yeah? Is that
team?
athletic director?
I have no idea. And how is he qualified to do that?
I think you give Woj any job in revolving basketball. And who cares?
Yes, but he's not like he's a reporter. He doesn't like know.
That's
ball.
true. Yeah, that's true. I guess that's for. I wouldn't give him a coaching job.
I mean, who knows? I have no idea what he does.
All right, general manager for college basketball. The first thing that comes up is Adrian Wojnarowski.
Yeah, I'd love to
Accepting
get a job description.
Yeah, accepting GM role. General manager Adrian Wojnarowski. All right, let's see what we got. Okay. In his role as general manager, Wojnarowski will serve the coaching staff in managing a wide range of responsibilities, including NIL opportunities, as well as liaison for collectives, transfer portal management, recruit, family and alumni relationships, professional player programs, and he's literally just the GM of this college team. So he's gonna run the transfer portal. He's gonna run the NIL deals. And he's gonna be liaisons with collectives. That's
Yeah, I
kind
don't
of
know
cool.
how it works, but good for him.
Yeah, it's
it's his alma mater, right?
Yeah, it's his alma mater.
That is kind of sick that he's just like, all right, I've accomplished everything I want to in my job. Like, I'm the best to ever do it. I'm just gonna go back and work for my school because I love it.
I know, and it's almost like they
I
made up.
respect that.
It's almost like they made up the GM position for this.
Right? He was like, I want to come back, and they were like, you just tell us what you want to do. He's like, I want to be the GM. They're like, you got it.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. All right, there's other general managers for. Yeah, Chris Odingen is the Texas one. All right, there's other general managers for basketball teams. Interesting.
Well, basketball does not have a GM. I know that.
Yeah, I don't think mine does either. It's all Lamont, and that's how I want it. I want it to be my coach. But
yeah.
But if it's
Well,
Woj,
that would be interesting.
Like if it's Woj getting NIL deals, then I think you're like. There's going to be a lot more people who sign for.
Yeah, I wonder if there's going to be an uptick.
Yeah.
Because like the Bonnies, they've been decent before.
Yeah, he said I mean, in this statement that I read from St. Bonavard, he says he's in these changing times of college sports. I'm eager to join a championship program.
About that, but
that reminds me of in South Carolina versus LSU. Fourth quarter starts. The jumbotron is behind the student section, and I just hear from behind me Shane Beamer say on the jumbotron, "This is a championship culture," and I just turned around like. What is on the screen right now? Like I was like, is Carolina football on the screen? And what the hell is a championship culture? The fuck does that even mean? It baffled me. That's all I got on that one. It just absolutely baffled me. All right, this was a long one, Chris. I think we covered everything.
It was jam-packed. I think we probably got everything. Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for listening. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And we'll see everyone on Friday for week 3 already, Chris, of the Wise Picks.
Yep.
Now that it's here, it's flying
Rolling.
already. I don't like it. It's gonna be week 10 by the time we
finite
blink.
amount of football weeks.
Yeah. Well, see everyone Friday. Thanks.